All right. Going to go ahead and record this session. So, welcome everybody. Can somebody just open up your mic and let me know when you can see my screen?
Good to go.
You're good
All
here.
right. Fantastic. And before we get started here, I am going to play this video. So, let me change the audio settings. This is one of my favorite motivational videos. So, it's real quick, couple minutes. Can you guys hear it okay?
You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
But you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. Anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills to pay, they have happy relationships. Anybody can be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage to start over again. Fear kills dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear puts people in the hospital. Fear can age you, can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself that you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you.
At the end of your feelings is nothing, but at the end of every principle is a promise. Behind your little feelings, it might not be absolutely nothing at the end of your little feelings, but behind every principle is a promise. And some of you in your life, the reason why you're not at your goal right now, because you just all about your feelings. You all on your feelings. You don't feel like waking up. So who does? Every day you say no to your dreams, you might be pushing your dreams back a whole 6 months, a whole year. That one single day, that one day you didn't get up could have pushed your stuff back I don't know how long.
Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it. It's not going to be easy. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you go all out. I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back. And I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. Take full responsibility for your life. Accept where you are and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to go. You can decide that I'm going to live each day as if it were my last.
What is this for?
To attract agents.
For everybody.
Awesome. Who is ready to get started now? I don't know about you guys, but I'm about over here ready to jump out of my chair.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Luz. Yes, hey, good morning.
Good
Afternoon.
morning. All you had to do was just show us your downline. You didn't have to show us this video.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, but guys, it all because complacency is the enemy to success. So even though I do have a great organization, I've got a great income from it and everything, complacency is the enemy to success. So the reason I play this is it's not about it's not about the finances anymore. It's about helping you guys do the same thing. So Hamudi and I are lucky enough to be in a position that it's not about the money, it's not about financing, but you have to have a bigger purpose. And I mean, is there anybody on this call, and I was trying to get this bigger here, whoops, anybody on this call, do you guys find yourself ever getting complacent? I mean, just raise your hand. And I see Ruben, he's shaking his head no, because he's like a little energy bunny every single day. I see you on Instagram. But we all do it.
Overwhelmed.
Do what, Ty?
Overwhelmed. Because
Overwhelmed.
I'm not complacent and I want to do a million things at once. So that's my issue.
So then you gotta funnel that energy right into one or two things, because I'm the same way. I'm like, I want to do, Paige was here, my assistant, for a few days, and she was like, oh my God, I think you and Hamudi have ADHD. I couldn't get anything done being around you guys, because we're like, hey Paige, hey Paige, hey Paige, right? Yeah. So you got to take that energy and kind of funnel it in to one thing. So I have to tell you guys, I've watched that video a few years ago. I watched it every single day for a year. Every single day. And to today, I know exactly what they're saying. I don't get tired of it, because that's what gets me excited. That's what gets that energy level up in the morning, right? So, it's all about your energy. And for those of you who know, I recognize some faces. We just got back from a mastermind. I quoted Tony Robbins that it's 80% mindset, psychology, and energy, and 20% strategy. A lot of times we're focusing on the how instead of our own psyche and our own mindset and our own energy. So David, if I got on a call with you and I had really mopey energy, am I going to attract you to the company? Right? And I know I think I muted most of you, so I'm sorry. But if you feel free to unmute, right? It's all about your own energy. Yesterday, I'm going to be real with you guys. I was on a call with my son's teachers. He's developmentally behind. It was at 8 a.m. It put my energy and Hamudi's energy out the window. We were so down. So we made a conscious decision. We weren't going to make calls yesterday. I worked on other projects because I knew my energy level was down. So with that said, who's ready to get started? Raise your hand. Awesome. So I'm going to pull up my 2 to legacy formula here. Agent attraction mastery. For those of you that just got back from the mastermind, I think, really what I'm repeatedly hearing from you guys is you made agent attraction seem a lot harder than what it is. It's a lot more simple than I think what we make it out to be. And I think you'll see that here in the presentation today. So let me make this full screen right here. All right. I can't see you guys anymore, but shake your heads yes or no, just because you guys can probably see each other. Well, here, let's do this. I have to see some beautiful faces. Who thinks they can have 2 meaningful conversations with agents every single day and it not take away from your production? Raise a hand, right? Is that something that's too difficult? Right? Because a lot of us that are in production, of course, EXP is a real estate company first. We're out representing buyers and sellers. But a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm busy. I'm focusing on my production. I can't focus on agent attraction. What I'm here to show you today is 2 meaningful conversations a day will change your life. Okay? 2 meaningful conversations. I don't mean 2 text messages or 2 phone calls and they don't answer. 2 meaningful conversations, right? All right, so what we're going to show you today, how to build your agent avatar. Just as you do in sales, you know exactly what type of client you're going after. You know what kind of sellers you want, what kind of price point, you know what kind of buyers you're going after, whether you work with first-time home buyers or investors. We have to do the same thing with our agent avatar. You need to know exactly what kind of agent you're going after. And that's where just the law of attraction, for those of you that kind of believe in some of this, that will naturally be attracted and come to you. Has anybody else purchased a car you were like, oh, awesome, no, I've never seen this car before, and then all of a sudden you see the same car, you know, you get on the road and it's freaking everywhere, right?
Mhm.
So that's what happens when you create an agent avatar, is you're going to start identifying who those agents are, and you're going to find out they're all over the place, and you know, you already have these relationships. Darren Jacklin did a video and he talked about everything you want, guys, is in your phone right now. Can you believe that? It's in your phone. You just need to go and find them. So, two to legacy, two meaningful conversations with agents a day. That's what's going to be able to build out your tree. That's what's going to build out your legacy, and you're helping more people. We'll go over the wealth chart because I am a firm believer in visualizing things, methodology of growth, long term versus short term gain. Make the call. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is, your power hour and systems to scale. All right, so for those of you that don't know, myself or my husband, we are second generation real estate investors. I've been a licensed agent for over 11 years, 6 years now with EXP as agent number 333. So I've seen it go from 300 agents to 45,000 agents. I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart, there is no better time to attract than right now. The stock has been on fire. People have hit icon year over year and they've acquired their own wealth. Everybody has heard about EXP, or most everyone at this point. So there is no better time to attract other agents than today. So get that whole mindset. I wish I got in early. Trust me, it's a lot easier now than it used to be. So building your agent avatar, who you follow is a direct reflection of who you are and whom you will become, right? So in order to reach a certain level, I need to identify who has already walked the path that I want to go to, right? And 2 years ago, before COVID and all this craziness kind of hit, Hamudi and I invested in 1 year over $100,000 in personal development, coaching with Tony Robbins and his team, and going to his business mastery, UPW, Grant Cardone, John Maxwell, you name it. I identified those who had the mindset that I wanted, and that's who I want to become, right? So oftentimes it's not about the financial goals, because at some point that doesn't matter as much. It's about the person that you have to become in order to reach those financial goals and to help other people. So creating your agent avatar. Are you going to go after new agents or experienced agents? Are you going to go after team leads or broker owners? You know, Lewis talked about last week. He was a broker owner that brought over 100 agents. It's the same effort in having that initial conversation with a team lead or a broker owner as it is an individual agent. So is that going to be the type of agent that you're looking for? Are you looking for agents looking to scale their business or looking for retirement? For me personally, our kind of niche is taking an agent who has been in production for a while. They're a top producer, but they're tired of that day-to-day grind every single day. Maybe they want to enjoy time with their family. A lot of us as real estate agents, we reach that financial freedom, but we don't get what? The time freedom. So I help agents get that time freedom and really get their life back and enjoy life. So here's what the agent avatar looks like. This one was actually designed for buyers and sellers, but you can use a very similar concept for agents if you're looking for this. Everybody on the call has a coupon code for our Mruat Enterprises courses. So if you go to the Agent Success Kickstarter program and download the guide, that's where you're going to find all the worksheets that I'm showing you today. So most of us focus on branding and marketing, but prospecting is where you control the outcome. Okay. So there are three different things in business: branding, marketing, and prospecting. All three are very important in any business. So branding and marketing, right? People are going to follow who they want to become, right? So you almost have to brand yourself on the type of agents that you're looking for. Right. And then I think there's a Jose or somebody's got their mic on. If you guys can mute, because there is some background noise. So here's the difference between branding and marketing and prospecting. Branding and marketing is, hey, I put stuff out there and then I'm hoping that somebody reaches back out to me, right? Prospecting is where you are reaching out to your potential client or potential agent and you're controlling the results, you're controlling the outcome. Do we see the difference? Branding and marketing is hoping they come to me, which doesn't happen very often, by the way. And prospecting is where I'm going to dedicate to making this many amount of calls. I'm going to have 2 meaningful conversations a day so I can make sure that I am changing agents' lives and getting everybody that I know the ability to see this life-changing company. So the 2 to Legacy blueprint. 2 what? Meaningful conversations a day, right? Not just 2 conversations, 2 meaningful conversations. I have on there, your ego is not your amigo. A lot of times we get so wrapped up in our mindset that, well, I'm a top producer or I'm a broker and I don't recruit. Guess what? If any of you guys have friends, if any of you guys are married, you have recruited at some point in your life because you have convinced someone to like you and to be with you, right? And if you have such a bad negative mindset on recruiting, you're not going to attract any agents. We're not just attracting agents, we're not just sponsoring agents. We are here to change their lives. You know, there is nothing, honestly, nothing that makes me more excited. It's not about my revenue share. It's about the unsolicited calls and texts that I get from agents who hit Icon, or maybe they've been doing the agent equity program and they've got 4, 5, 6, $800,000 worth of stock now in their account. Do you think we have changed not only their life, but their family tree, right? There's nothing that makes me more excited. And so your ego is not your amigo. I say this because stop thinking you are too good to recruit. Because if you think you're too good to recruit, then all you're saying is your friends and your family and those around you that you care about, that you're not willing to help them, right? That's all that means. Recruiting means you're helping others closest to you. That's all it is. So what does 2 meaningful conversations a day look like? 5 days a week. Guys, I'm letting you have the weekends off. So that's 10 agent conversations per week. And I love this Grant Cardone quote. The difference between a contact and a contract is the R, which stands for relationship. So much of recruiting, much of agent attraction is about building relationships, showing others that you care and you want to provide them this opportunity. So 10 agents a week, that equals 40 a month, 40 meaningful conversations a month. And you'll find over time, just like real estate sales, you're building that pipeline to where people are going to start signing up and you're going to build your own legacy. So here's the thing to keep in mind. Once you own their mind share, you will own the market share. It's all about staying top of mind. So it's not just about having 2 meaningful conversations a day. It's also about follow up and follow through and making sure that you stay top of mind, because I have agents that join EXP 2, 3, 4 years after I originally talked to them. And once they come in and see how awesome it is, their first response is, oh my gosh, Micah, why didn't you push me to join sooner? Because I could have done this years ago and I might have left hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars potentially on the table. Again, not here to make any projections. And then consistently build legacy. We all know that everything in life takes patience, it takes resources, it takes consistency, and it's a process. So I've got the C4 formula. So you got to get ready to build out your own explosion. And that is number 1, you've got to commit. You have to commit on this call that you're going to make those contacts every single day, because if you don't, then none of this is going to matter. It's all about consistency. So number 1, you've got to commit. Number 2, you're going to have to connect. You need to connect with agents, whether it's in person, on Zoom calls, over the phone, social media, anywhere and everywhere. You're going to have to connect with agents. You're going to have to consistently communicate and then you're going to close them, right? And sometimes agents need a little bit of a push. So there are times that we've got to be a little bit more direct, and that's because agents need a push. We all love our comfort zone, and we know that this is a right opportunity. So sometimes you just got to nudge them a little bit to go off that edge. Did you know 67% of those surveyed believe that taking time to visualize your goals will help you improve the odds of achieving them? Right? So it's not just about the 900 agents we have or whatever. What does that bring? How many lives can I impact? And then I need to put those all in a visualization. So last week, we all printed out these huge wealth chart boards. I'm not sure how everybody got them on the airplane. But, if you simply Google or YouTube Rob Flick's wealth chart, he's the one that came up with that concept. And it's all about writing your frontline agents here. Who are your qualifiers? How many agents do you have in every goal? What levels have you unlocked? And then what are your annual goals? How many agents conversations are you going to have every month? How many agents are you going to bring on? And then eventually, as you start bringing on agents, you're going to have to help those agents grow as well. And you're truly building out a large organization. So methodology on growth, choose your ideal agent. We've talked about building that agent avatar, develop a system to scale. Guys, it's all about leverage, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. So it's never an excuse to say that you don't have enough time. It's just because you're not managing your time or you're not leveraging enough, right? So it's all about leverage, and leverage can be through other people or systems. Lead with value. People always want to know what's in it for them. What can you provide? What can you do to lead with value and help solve their problem? Every agent has a problem, whether they're brand new and they're wanting to get their business started, or they've been in real estate 10, 15, 20 years. They've built this massive business, but they're grinding every single day and they want out. Or it's the broker owner that has a ton of overhead and they've built this organization. They care about their agents, but they don't know where to go next. How can you solve their problem? And from what I have found, I've been able to solve all three of those different scenarios with EXP. So you show them, not, I don't like to tell, I like to show how can you help. And right now we're doing a lot of Zoom calls since with COVID, in person is a bit restrictive. So we're doing a lot of Zoom calls, and I always show them how can I solve their problem. The presentation is less about the entire presentation about EXP. I can send them a video explaining all of that, but I'm there to learn about them, what their pain points are, what they want in their life and their business, and then how can I solve it. You want to focus, follow up, and follow through. And I have follow through in here because one of the reasons why I have heard agents leaving is they want this sense of community, or maybe their sponsor had promised them the world. They signed up and then they never heard from them. So if you do promise things, which you've got to be careful with incentives, make sure you're following through on those promises. It's not just about signing up the agents, it's about helping them get productive and build their own organizations as well. And maybe that looks like, leveraging transition onboarding support. I identified this year that I was spending a lot of time onboarding agents, and that's not where my time was best spent. So I hired on an onboarding specialist, somebody who, is doing extremely well at it. So where can you leverage your time? And at the end of the day, that's going to help your agents the most as well. Set your agents up for success. EXP is not just about the numbers. When you understand the stock and the revenue share and all these different things, you understand it's not just about body count. It's about helping these agents grow. And you want to, of course, build community. Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of a community. So here are the examples that I have. Once I have spoken with an agent and they're interested in EXP, this is the follow-up email that I send them. I thank them for, spending their valuable time. Everybody's time is precious. Your time is precious right now on this call. And so you want to really protect their time. Don't waste their time by any means. I send them a short overview video, but I also send them the presentation deck. Some people want to dive into it a little bit more. Also an example of the training calendar, what SkySlope is, what KV Core is. And then of course the agent healthcare is huge. I think on average, I heard, agents are saving $8,000 a month. with the healthcare option. So, of course, everybody is going to join EXP for a different reason. You may be interested in the technology and the training, while the next guy is interested in stock and revenue share. So, you always want to identify what's important to that agent prospect. And then the application email. We all know transferring is never easy. So try to make it as simple as possible. I've got these step-by-step instructions. You go to join.exprealty.com. That's the join application. Then that's also where they're going to populate the independent contractor agreement and name the sponsor. Make sure you're letting them know how important the sponsorship is, because that cannot be changed after the fact. They can review the independent contractor agreement, truly do their due diligence on the company, and then we don't notify your broker. We don't move your license until you've given the broker staff permission to do so, and you're in the license transfer stage. Everybody in our organization, once they're active and they've activated their passport and they're in our enterprise system, our onboarding specialist Paige is reaching out on a daily basis. She's calling them, she's texting, and she's emailing them and inviting them to a weekly onboarding call. So that's actually right after this, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She has her own Zoom link. So everybody in your organization will be invited. We do not transfer their license. So the sponsor still needs to be engaged from the application stage until they activate their passport. From there, we're going to help them, walk them through all the systems, walk them through the world, walk them through enterprise. But that is just a resource for you guys. As the sponsor, you do want to take ownership. You want to treat this just like any other business and make sure that you are still keeping in touch with your agents and not just reliant on some of these resources. So again, that's meant to just be a resource. Now, I have to ask you guys, and particularly the ones that have been in real estate for a little while, are you looking at the short term versus the long term gain? So right now, short term may be representing buyers and sellers, right? And I'm not saying don't do that, but sometimes it might be worth referring a deal or two out so you can make your agent attraction calls. Because what's going to happen every time you constantly do that roller coaster where, you know, you have some closings, you have some people in the pipeline, and then what, you have your closings and you're unemployed again, and you start the process all over again. What EXP allows you to do, allows you to have the opportunity to really streamline that process, get off the hamster wheel, get off the roller coaster, and start creating your own wealth through revenue share and stock. And get, you know, you can put that money even back into your business if you want to throw some fuel on the fire in your business as well. So ask yourself, are you passing on an opportunity by focusing on the short-term gain, where your sales today pay you tomorrow? The sales that you had last year, are they going to pay you next year, right? And then, of course, we have the long term. How much do you need to make in order to have time and financial freedom? A lot of us reach financial freedom as a real estate agents, because we all know real estate can be lucrative, but we're still grinding every single day and we don't have time freedom. What can you build today that your future self will thank you? So 5, 6 years ago, when I was agent number 333 with EXP, nobody had heard of us. I took the risk. I had an office. I was doing 10 presentations a day. Now I'm thanking myself for all that hard work, all that consistency, because now I can do what I truly love and just help people grow. And of course, it's paid off over time. So the roadmap to success, again, all of these worksheets are in our action guide in our courses. Ask yourself, where are you now? Where do you want to go? And how long do you have? How will you get there? So we got pretty deep in some of our conversations through the mastermind on your why. And I know a lot of us have heard about our why, but the reason why you have to truly identify that and dig deep, it can't be on the surface, is because human beings, including the best of us, make decisions based off of emotion. It's not just about numbers. It's not just about statistics. We make decisions based on emotion. So you need to identify, what is that for you? And then what is that for your prospect, right? Because let's be real, EXP is not the cheapest brokerage in town. So somebody's going to join EXP for two things: for the community and emotional support that we build, and then also for the opportunity. Otherwise, everybody would just go to 100% company, right? But we know the opportunity is much greater than that. That's why we're all here, because of the opportunity. Script mastery, make the call. So they will join with or without you, right? EXP is one of those things. I can't even compare EXP to other real estate brokerages because we're in like a whole nother box. And I firmly believe so everybody's going to join at some point. They will join with or without you. If your best friend joins the company and they join under another sponsor, it's your fault. It's because you didn't make the call, you didn't influence their decision, and you didn't follow up. So make the call. Guys, I want to show you how easy this is. These are my husband's messages. And of course, I asked his permission before he shared these. For those of you that don't know him, he's from Israel. He lived in the States for 14 years now. English is his third language. So as you can see there, spelling's not always right, grammatical errors, run on sentences. And it was actually brought up to me, here it says Wednesday at noon, what would be a good time? And he said, sure, what time? She said noon. Noon is 12 p.m. I show this to you guys because a lot of times we're trying to perfect our scripts. We're trying to perfect everything and we're missing opportunity. You just got to get in there and do it. I think, and I believe that's what these messages show. He's been able to bring on 11 personal agents just since January 1st because he gets in there, he's messaging, he's connecting with agents on social media, and he's making the call. He's not even necessarily waiting for them to schedule a time. He'll pick up the phone while they're active and say, hey, it's great. We've been chatting on Facebook. I thought it was great. I saw you're active. I'm just going to give you a call. It might be a lot easier. But because he's got the mindset right, his energy, people feed off of his energy and they overlook the text, the grammatical errors. Stop trying to perfect everything and just get in there and do it. So it can be as simple as this. Somebody adds you on any social media platform. You say, hey, John, thank you for adding me. I look forward to connecting. How's it going? Do you notice I'm not saying anything about EXP? All I'm doing is building that relationship. We talked about the difference between contact and a contract is the R, and you want to build a relationship first. So then my next message is awesome. I've been in real estate for 11 years myself. How long have you been in real estate? Or are you a broker owner, or whatever that question may be? But again, I'm not just mass messaging about EXP. You always have to remember, leads are people. You want to build that relationship. Now, all of this is going to dive into consistency. So consistently every single day, even on our busiest days, we try to do what's called a power hour. Not try, we do a power hour. And what that is agent attraction doesn't have to take away from your production. It's you dedicating 1 hour every single day for uninterrupted agent prospecting. The key is it's uninterrupted. That means you're going to not check your emails. You're not going to check your social media. You're not going to check any contracts or counters or anything like that. The world can stop for 1 hour and you're going to dedicate and reach out to agents for uninterrupted hour. Always lead with value. Always show agents how you can solve their problem, how you can help. So some of the tools that can help assist you here, I have a scheduling sheet that you can download and write in your power hour. Also, we all know that it takes about 90 days to create a habit. So if your habit is to make 5 calls a day, then just print this off, have a visual on your workspace, and check off every single day as you've met as you've met your goal, whatever that may be. So again, try to make it as visual as possible. Systems to scale. We all have transition and onboarding support. As your organization grows, you may need to acquire additional support, but right now our organization has a resource for you. Treat it as a business. Set your agents up for success. Schedule weekly onboarding calls, or attend the weekly onboarding calls with your agents, and also do tour EXP World Tours. I can't tell you how many times agents reach out. Oh, well, I sent, this agent a guest pass, a 14-day guest pass, but, how do I know if they got in? What? If you're sending out a guest pass, make sure you're going into the world with your agents. Schedule a Zoom call, help them download the world on their computer, and then give them a tour. It's easy because you're taking the time to show them that you care. Because what's going to happen if you don't? They're going to get lost, they're going to get frustrated, and they're not going to join, right? Because we're not going to do anything that's uncomfortable or complicated. So you want to show them how easy it is to adapt. And then, of course, you want to pay attention to your frontline qualifying agents, or you'll hear us reference FLQAs, monthly follow up. Follow up with your agents, even if it's just on a monthly basis. Follow through on any promises that we have, a send out card where our agents get, thank you cards and birthday cards, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you name it, holiday gifts. A bunch of you just that are in our front line just received a holiday Yeti with your name on it, customized. And then, of course, build community. Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of a community. Retention. Ask yourself, why are agents leaving? If an agent leaves our organization, I tend to call them and ask them, what could we have done better? Most agents are looking for more support. Help your agents produce and grow their own organizations. And then, of course, you can't do this alone. I couldn't have built 900 agents by myself. It's all about duplication. Who are your leaders? Identifying who your leaders are in the company. Personally, I identify who's growing their organizations, who's attending our classes, who's attending our masterminds, who are swimming toward us. And those are the ones that I'm going to put a lot of my time and energy into because I know they're trying to make a change. They're making this work. Support those that are running towards you. And then, of course, you can host your own private mastermind events. Now, we just had an Austin mastermind event, and the criteria was 10 FLQAs. So anyone that got invited had 10 FLQAs on their front line. Next year, it's going to be bumped up to 15. So if you saw our post and you want to be there, start working on your 15 FLQAs now. You're going to have some kind of tracking system. So what I show you here is, we started out with a marker board, and that's how we tracked everything. And then now we've moved to a digital Trello board. So whatever that looks like for you, don't keep it all up here in your head. Make sure that you have a system, because systems, people complain and create drama. Systems create zeros. So make sure that you have a system that's duplicatable. And especially as you start building out your team and maybe get an assistant or onboarding specialist, this is going to help keep you organized tremendously. Converting strategies, we all know that we fail in the follow up. It's all about the follow up and the follow through. Get them on the phone. Get your agent prospects on the phone. Send them a short video. There's an awesome one through Agent Builder Pro that's only 9 minutes long. And then meet them in person or get them on a Zoom. I always ask agent prospects to watch the video before we get on a presentation or a Zoom or meet in person, so that way we can have the most educated conversation. Get a commitment, send email instructions. So if somebody says they're ready to join, bam, have an email template ready to go, and determine what that timeline. So we have agents that are joining today. We have agents that are joining over the span of the next 2 weeks. Know and understand what their timeline is so you can help transition them. Send them the join application, help them through the license transfer, and then let them know that there are onboarding calls every single Friday. And it wouldn't hurt for you as a sponsor to attend that Zoom call with them. And then, of course, follow up, whether that's 7, 14. We have a 7-day follow up, a 14-day follow up, and a 30-day follow up, just to make sure that our agents are getting acclimated to the systems, are getting engaged, and to see if they have any questions. So freedom, what is your freedom number? Do you have financial freedom? If you do, awesome. Do you have time freedom? Are you working day to day, or are you building a legacy? Are you looking at the short-term gain, or are you looking on the long-term gain? What does that look like for you? And then, of course, as always, I want to encourage you guys, we are always here to help you. If you are having agent conversations, they've watched the video, you've done a Zoom call, and you need just a third-party validation, then please, please, please reach out to Hamudi or myself. You can also email our assistant at murwatenterprises@gmail.com and ask her to schedule something with us as well. Third-party validation. We are more than happy to help you close your agent prospects. All we ask is to make sure they've watched the video first. So again, we can make sure that we have the most educated conversation with you and your agent. So with that said, that's the end of the formal presentation. I'm going to open it up and see if you guys have any questions. So feel free, I think I muted a lot of you, so feel free to open up your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Elizabeth.
I heard two, so I'm sorry.
I have a question. Okay, so I had my assistant has started reaching out to agents. She reached out to like 10 a day, and we got a basic conversation started. And I started asking some of the questions that you have put in there as far as how long have you been in real estate. So I'm trying to see how can I take my next conversation with them.
Absolutely. So always keep in mind, if you're working with an assistant that's not licensed, you know, they can set appointments for you, but they cannot be explaining EXP, which it doesn't sound like that's the case. So what we do is, our goal is when we get on the phone is to, number one, build that relationship, have that relationship equity, build rapport, learn more about the agent, pique their interest, and then send them the 9-minute video. So, hey, Tammy, if I sent you a 9-minute video, would you mind watching it before our Zoom call tomorrow afternoon, right? Then after they've watched the 9-minute video, you want to get them on a Zoom call, right? Or meet them in person, depending on their location. On the Zoom call, all we're doing is really verifying everything. We're asking, the first question I always ask is, what excites you most about EXP? Because we all know that we want to pull those emotions out. We don't want them, you know, I don't even ask, what do you like best? I say, what excites you the most, right? And then once you have explained everything, you've answered, you've found out their pain points, you've answered their why and how you can solve it, ask them, what are your next steps? And that's usually, you know, I'm ready to join. Okay, by when? I'm only asking not to pressure you, but that way we can follow up with you and help you transition through the process. Right.
And also,
I'm sorry.
My new agent, how do Paige get in contact with her? Because I asked her to check her email. She said she didn't send her email.
So there is, we saw this last week. So there is a possibility that they're not showing up in Enterprise yet, because she's not going to see it until they're active in Enterprise. And mind you, she just started about 2 weeks ago. So if it was before that, you might want to invite them to her weekly calls. She is retroactively going back, I think, all the way till December. But that's been a bit of a process. So she is calling and because I see it. So I do know she's calling, and then she's texting, and she's emailing them, but they have to be active in Enterprise first.
Okay.
David, I think I saw you had a question. Yes.
Yes, that 9-minute video, I'm sorry, I don't know which video that is.
No.
Where do I find it?
No reason to apologize. So that's why we do this. So there, let me share my screen. There's actually, it's an EXP agent. This is one of my favorites. He created it. So you can get your own, or you can use my link, but you know, they do have your name on it. I want to say it's like $10 or $15 a month, but just go to agentbuilderpro.com, or he has his own CRM system. It's called CRM Grow. And so he can make this video for you, and it'll have your information here at the top. I like it because I feel like 9 minutes is reasonable enough that somebody, you know, it's enough to pique somebody's interest. It's clear, it's concise, it's to the point. And then if somebody's really interested, I send them themodelexplain.com, which is a little bit longer, I think 40 minutes. It's one of Brent Gove's, who, as we all know, is one of the top attractors with EXP. So I'll put this in the text chat. I'll put both of these in the text chat. So depending on, you know, kind of gauging their interest, it's either the Model Explained or the 9-minute Agent Builder Pro is what we use.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I know I went over time today. I appreciate everyone. Any other questions?
I do. The chart that you had, the wealth chart.
Yes.
Is that in our back office there?
It is, and so also thank you, Belinda, for mentioning this. I think Lewis just posted a link as well. So all the videos from our mastermind last week have now been uploaded into our Murat courses. I also posted a link yesterday in our private workplace group. So I want to encourage you guys not only to go watch those videos yourselves, it has links to everything, but also feel free to send those videos out to your prospective agents as well, because I think it shows, you know, the sense of community that we have and how we collaborate. And that's something that I think a lot of agents are hungry for. So that link is in the Ultimate Expansion. This video is going to be uploaded there as well. And all the videos from most of our sessions were uploaded there too.
Hey, Micah, can I just add to that?
Absolutely.
Can I share my screen for a sec?
Sure.
All right.
Lewis is like the spreadsheet master over here.
So I took Rob Flick's, I took his wealth chart and I improved on it because it just wasn't clear enough. So what you guys can do is you guys can keep your FLQAs up here. You can keep your FLAs down here so you can see which ones need to get pushed up into this category. You can keep your hot leads up here, your warm leads down here, and then you can keep track of how many people you have on each level. And then down here, you can also keep track of how many people you have in your level 2, and your level 3, your level 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a much better visual than what Rob did on a yellow piece of paper. So I think this will be easier for you guys to edit as well. So it's in the link that I just sent to everyone. You just have to make a copy of it by going to File, make a copy, and then you can go ahead and edit it. And you might see this when you first open it, but you just got to scroll over on the tabs down here to where it says Wealth Chart, and then you can go ahead and edit that.
And that's awesome. Like I said, Lewis is our spreadsheet master over here. So, you know, I know everybody was eating up your rev share calculator and all the different things that he had created. So his sessions are also uploaded into those courses, and Joelle as well. And then the links to that are in the courses. So I encourage everybody, go check those out. And there's a lot of great content, not just on agent attraction, but production as well. Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I appreciate all of you. Please let us know how we can help you. Get us on calls with your agent prospects. Let's do the third-party validation. It takes no more than 15 minutes after they watch the video, and let's help you all grow. You guys have a fantastic Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lewis, as well.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.